Hey bees, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna be doing a, you wanna get into nursing school, now what? Let's say you're in high school or you're just a parent or you're older, you're in your 30s, you're in your 20s and you dropped out of school or you're trying to get back into school. Whatever the case is, this is gonna be the video for you. I will be saying situations that could happen if you're in high school or if you're older, just so you can see, like, this video is basically for anybody who's interested in getting into nursing school. This video does not discriminate by age, by nothing. So we are gonna be talking all about nursing school and how to get into it. So if you guys are interested and you guys have a lot of questions, stay tuned because these are all my personal experiences and I was so lost. I am a first generation college student. So my mom's from Salvador, my dad's from Mexico, and so I really had nobody to like lean on except my sister. But even then, like, her career route was completely different than what I'm trying to become, and so it is even harder to get to where I want to be because I don't really have anybody to trust or talk to or communicate in this process. So I navigated a lot of the things on my own, and so I definitely want to like make that a huge disclaimer that this is my personal experience and what I did and how I got into nursing school. I will be vlogging my entire journey into like being in nursing school and sharing my experiences, and then the aftermath of like whenever I do get out of nursing school and I start my career, which is like mind-blowing because I can't believe I'm gonna be there one day. So if you guys are interested, like I said, make sure you guys do hit that follow button, subscribe, and I do have all my social media linked down below also, and then that way you guys can keep up with me. TikTok is like one of those places where I like quickly upload, and YouTube is like where my lengthier videos come from. So definitely go follow me on all my social medias. So let's get right into it. I do have a little book here. It says goal on it, but this is kind of my cheat sheet because there's a lot to talk about and I do not want to miss anything. So it took me a while to like get everything written down and ready to go. So I thankfully was able to do the California Promise Grant. Make sure you guys check to see what your state offers versus like the government. Your state will offer you certain things and certain packages that you want to take advantage of, and this is one of the things that for in California, if you're going to community college, the first 2 years they're gonna pay for it, and literally that just makes it so much easier also because regardless, those 2 years are literally just your general education. So if you guys don't want to get to university or you don't even get accepted to one, which is gonna be okay, go to a community college. And this is especially for those who are parents who are out of school, who have to have a job. Go to a community college. It's so much cheaper. You're already done with your general education classes. You already finished them and you're trying to get into a nursing program. This is where it gets like really interesting. So look to see what you want to do, if it's an associate or if it's a bachelor's, or if you want to do an accelerated program where you do it in like a short amount of time, where you cut off a year. Like I said, for me, I'm cutting off a year and I'm finishing in 3. And thankfully, I already had my general education classes, so I was able to transfer everything over. Now, if all of this stuff is sounding like gibberish to me, trust me, it's all gonna make sense. It's really simple. It's not even that hard, I promise you. Obviously at first when you're looking into all this stuff, you're like, what is general education classes? Like, it's basically taking high school all over again, but in college for first 2 years, and everything is credited. That's literally what it is. So the 4 years that you take all your classes, your your English 101, you're gonna be taking that again. History, you're gonna be taking it again. Anything that has to do with math, you're gonna be taking it again. Whether it's statistics, pre-calculus, you're gonna be taking it again. General algebra, you're gonna be taking it again. And I feel like honestly, high school is such BS because you literally do everything in 2 years in college that you do in 4 years in high school. So definitely try to become like a master at like basic stuff because that's basically all the first 2 years is going to be, but it's going to be credited. So that's just to put it out there. If you guys don't know, like, what are your general education classes, that is going to be it. So I forgot to mention in the video that other than just taking like algebra, pre-cal, English 101, history, there's going to be classes that you need to take, such as microbiology, physiology, chemistry, those certain classes in order to get into like a nursing program. You just really have to speak to your counselor, set up a meeting with them and see what classes you're missing, what classes you need in order to get into a program. Now, you definitely want to do your research because a lot of schools may require specific classes. So just to open up your odds even more to being able to apply to certain programs, definitely look it up. Do your research. A lot of them don't require medical terminology, and then a lot of them do. So just seeing that, hey, if a lot of them, regardless, they require it, might as well just have it. It's not going to hurt you not having it. And that's something that I wish I did. I did not take medical terminology. I didn't think I needed it, but it would have been a great benefit, especially since you're going to have to take the TEAS exam. I feel like having that medical terminology knowledge is going to be really beneficial for you guys, because there's going to be a lot of wording in the TEAS that kind of gets you confused if you don't know the terminology. So yeah, that's just something that I forgot to mention, but definitely speak to your counselor. And then sometimes they even have a catalog on the school, so you can even check to see what the nursing program requires. So like I said, a lot of it's just doing your own research and writing everything down, and being really organized would be like the best thing for you guys. Write things down at the minute planner, journal, put notifications on your phone, put sticky notes everywhere, whatever would be helpful for you guys. But yeah. Now, let's say you want to try to get into a program. Go on every single community college or university in your area that's within travel distance and see, hey, what are some schools that I'm interested to get into. Look at the cost of coverage, look at the graduation rates, because those are so important. Look at whether they are accredited by the state or by the California board, or whatever board there is for you guys, like the nursing board. Check to see whether they are accredited, and everything that you're doing is going to be credited, because there's a lot of places where you want to become a nurse, come become a nurse, and like literally they're not accredited with nothing, and they're just stealing your money and you're wasting your time. And you want to make sure that you're looking into a program that's legit. There is I'm going to be linking a government website that you can check to see what schools are accredited in your state, and that's going to be so much easier. Community colleges and universities, they're going to be all in there, and that's where I check to see like what schools are around me, what community colleges are accredited, what can I use, what programs have like a good nursing program, how many students do they accept. Trust me guys, literally when I was applying for community college, the first places that I applied to was Long Beach. And because Long Beach, that you didn't need to have your TEAS exam, and we'll get there. You didn't have to have your TEAS exam, and when I applied, there was like 500 students, and only 30 students got accepted into the program. I'm not gonna lie, like California or nursing in general, it's so competitive. So you definitely wanna have like killer scores for your TEAS exam if you're planning to go to like a community college, because it is so cutthroat, and like it's the most competitive and stressful thing. Like there has been numerous of times where I haven't slept at night. I have so much anxiety because I think I'm never gonna get into a nursing school. I'm never gonna get where I want to be. Like now what do I do? Like what are my options? Because all I've ever been pushing for is getting into a nursing program, and I feel like I'm like knocking on all the doors, but all the doors are shut. No one's opening, the lights are not on, nobody's home type of thing. So but once you find the few schools, make an Excel and write down what, and like I sometimes they have a lot of schools, what they have is it's a page solely for nursing students and all their information that they want students to know if you're a prospective nursing student who wants to go to their school. So these are the things that I looked for myself to make sure that I am gonna be like on check, that I'm doing everything that I need to by the deadlines, because there will be deadlines. And Most of the times, only schools open up their applications twice a year. So it's so cutthroat because all those students are waiting only for 2 chances per year to get into a program. So definitely want to be writing down everything on a Word doc or an Excel sheet, whichever one that is easier for you to navigate, whether it's writing it down in your agenda, writing down it on your phone, your Google Calendar, your Apple Calendar, whichever one, write it down because you want to make sure you are being as organized as possible. So the main things that I would look for is, one, when does the biggest thing, when does their nursing applications open? And what do you need? The second biggest thing is, what do you need prior to applying to like qualify or to even get the application? Because a lot of schools, they can either say, we don't need the TEAS exam, we will let you know whether you get into the program. Well, when you make it to like the second step, and that's when we'll tell you, hey, this is the time for you to do the program. If not, a lot of students, majority of schools are going to want you to have your TEAS exam already set and done. Another thing that's really important is, if you guys don't know what the TEAS exam, it's basically like the SAT. So they're on version 7 right now. And there's either A or B. And if you guys don't know what it is, go on the ATIT's website and you're going to be able to see practice exams. You do have to purchase them, unfortunately. I will be making a whole video on, like, an updated whole video of what I recommend to use to study for the TEAS exam and what are the best methods. So they have a whole website, and it will let you know everything that you will need to know, and which I will be leaving in the link of this video, also in the description box. I'll be leaving that link. So basically, this is gonna be a really long video because it's a lot of information to throw at you. So definitely, if you guys are feeling overwhelmed, pause the video, take your notes, save it for later, and come back whenever you're not feeling so overwhelmed, because you will get overwhelmed. It's a lot of information. Like, even with me, like, going through it, I was so exhausted mentally that I just did not know how I, like, got through with that. But anyways, what was I talking about? So they're on the version 7 TEAS right now. And so make sure you call or you look, because some schools, they don't even put it on their page, like their nursing page, but check to see what is the minimum score that they need you to have in order to even apply for the program. A lot of schools, they're at 62% or above. Sometimes they're a lot less, or sometimes they have an alternative test that you can take, which is the HESI, which is a completely different thing than the TEAS, but basically like mostly similar. But a lot of the times they require a higher score than the TEAS, but there is that. So, for example, I applied to Santa Monica and they did not use the HESI, they did not use the TEAS, they used the PACS exam, which is, again, another version of, like, the TEAS, but they just, like, basically name it differently. That's what it is. Okay, what else? So, after you get that information, write it down. Write everything down. Do it columns, like, do application open date, requirements, TEAS exam scores or test scores, minimum test scores. Write down all this information on your Excel sheet, your Google Docs. And what I did is anything that is coming up that is soon, within like a month or two, I would highlight the due date or the application date, and then I would check to see when that application window closed as well, because they only have it open for maybe like 2 to 3 weeks and then they close it. Some schools, they're a lot shorter, but most schools, they have it up for 2 to 3 weeks and then they close the application, and you won't be able to access it or nothing, and you will have to wait until basically the next semester to try again. So it is very cutthroat. It's like they do not have any passes here. Like, if you close it and you miss that window and you call and you're like, I was finishing doing the application, they're like, sorry, it's closed, like there's nothing we can do for you. Like, they do not give passes whatsoever, so you definitely need to like be strict on yourself with timelines. Okay, so like, it's a lot of information. Okay, so The next thing that you want to do is research, like I said, research the schools, look to see what their graduation rates, their nursing rates are, their passing rates for the NCLEX, which is what the test that you will take at the very end of your program. And this is going to be your final test to get your certificate to be a nurse. Your basically your credentials. This is the place that you're going to get your credentials from. Okay, so another thing that is very important is that some schools, they require you to apply to their school before applying for the nursing program. Now, yes, there's going to be a lot of schools you're going to be applying for. Some of them, they don't need you to, but some of them you will. Check to see if they're going to want you to send over your official transcripts or your unofficial transcript. There are two different things. One of them is sealed and the other one is not sealed. Most schools, they will want unofficial for the beginning, and then once you get accepted into the program, they're going to want you to send unofficial transcripts, which is sealed, and it's being sent not by you by email, but by your institution to that specific school. A website that you can use to see if they can transfer over your units is going to be Parchment. I'm going to leave it linked down below. This is the website that I use to transfer all of my units, because I went to East Los Angeles College and I'm going to go to West Coast University, and they needed my official transcripts. So I used Parchment, which is like linked to the East Los Angeles College like website. Whenever it says like, oh, you need to transfer over your units, and it like automatically sends me to this link. So I used Parchment, and I like looked up my school, and then you put your email, and then it says, do you want to send it to yourself or to your your institution, or to both? I usually just do the institution, and then they'll send you an email once they received it, and blah 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 blah. So from then on is what basically this is gonna be like the ending. So after you apply, after you do all this, it's basically all a waiting game. Yes, it's going to take a while to hear back. Sometimes you won't even hear back from the schools. And that is like the most heartbreaking thing, because you're thinking, oh, maybe I'm going to get in, maybe I'm going to get in. No, like more than likely a lot of schools, like for example, my friend applied to East Los Angeles College. She never heard back from them at all. And then she ended up getting into a different school, which is amazing for her, but definitely, like, some schools, they will not respond to you. They'll not let you know, hey, you're not accepted. You know, we're sorry. I'm sure it's just because they have so many people who apply, and I'm sure sometimes it falls through the cracks, even though it's unfortunate. It does happen. So basically, this is everything in a whole. When you're trying to get into nursing school, this is like basically all the information that I can give you. Also, your school is going to want you to apply for financial aid. It doesn't matter what time in the year. A lot of people are like, oh, the window has closed, the window has closed. The window does not close, okay? So when you are going to go into nursing school, go apply for financial aid, because that price, you're not going to want to pay full price to get into nursing school. Financial aid is given to you by the government with loans. They have different types of grants. Also, go look for scholarships. Scholarships are amazing. Also, do your research, because like I said, there's so many opportunities. There's so much free money out there for students who want to be in school, but it's so expensive, especially like private colleges. Like for example, myself, I am going to a private college. So there's not only just regular universities or college, community college, there's also private, and that's the route that I ended up taking, is private, because I didn't want to wait around another year. I've already waited a year and a half to get into nursing school. I wasted a year and a half. I would have been halfway done with my program if I would have done this a long time ago. Isn't that crazy to think? Like, I wasted a year and a half and I could have been halfway done.